everybody. Welcome. Also welcome in the people in the online session for my team, no 9 pointers, and Johnny, Frank, Dennis, and also my leadership, my lovely wife Sumaya, my son Emre, Tota, Efsa, and the family from Lars and his girlfriend Susan.
Hello, everybody.
I have not seen the notes. Why?
Okay, we should have some notes coming up. We just have a technical thing. We do need the notes on this one. Very interesting. I think they're going to reopen the presentation for us again. Give us just 1 second, and we'll get going. I must say, I live in Germany, and while we're waiting, I know you're with Deutsche Telekom, and regrettably, when I'm in the US, it doesn't set me up to anything like I'm used to. I have not yet been able to make a call home. I won't tell you which provider is trying to support me, but just to let you know, I'm looking forward to getting back where the telephones actually work.
Okay,
here we go.
Okay, my name is Mehmet Ali Karaslan. You can also call me Ali.
Much simpler.
Much simpler. Ali is the short. I'm the product owner by the Deutsche Telekom in the department of problem solution and touch points and self-service. We serve over 26 million fixed network customers in our company.
26 million?
26 million.
So you look after the touch points to 26 million people. Wow.
It's good. We have a minimal duration in our network. And together with my colleague Lars, we would like to introduce you how we have optimized the customer service at Deutsche Telekom with KNIME Edge. It's a new product from the KNIME. Before I start, I will like to introduce you to my team and what we are developing and responsible. This is our team, no null pointers.
Let me repeat that. They call themselves the no null pointers. Brilliant.
Genau, yeah.
I love it.
We are an agile team. We are think agile and work agile in sprints and program increment planning. The team consists of a Scrum Master and product owner for developers, to designer and to data science and a data analyst. Also, we have the external colleague from self-service team, and we are search agile business analyst for our team. What do we do? What we are responsible, what we are what service we provide is MBA. In long form is next best action.
And in English we call that next best action.
Yeah.
It's the same in German, isn't it?
It's the same. Yeah. That's what the service do. The customer asks with a symptom. Example, my internet is slow, my internet is broken, my internet I have no internet connection. And with his phone number, we have only need the symptom and the phone number. We check the line and collect the technical data of the connection and send this to our IA. Okay. IA is our Misha. He has the name. He's the Misha. Yeah. It's the name from the father. His father is also for unser IA is the father, the Misha. He was pensioner employer was in our team. He was employer. We have and when I say Misha, I mean AI.
Right. And the interesting thing is, they know it's decision science, they know it's machine learning, but the management wants to hear the term AI. So guess what? It's AI, isn't it?
The Misha sent us back a repair proposal. We can solve the customer problem, for example, router reset or VLAN on/off or line reset. The Misha has been trained with service cases from the past and current data. With the mostly like to help with the technical data that we are provided to the Misha, it looks at with repairs, it's most like to help the customer.
Okay, let me repeat that. So in other words, you've got all of these past cases. You're taking all of that data of the past cases, and it could be all sorts of things, technical data, text data, all sorts of things. You're pulling it together, and you're using that to make recommendations and next best action for the customer.
All the parameters from the measurements, and we are collected.
Right.
It's the same when you go to the doctor and say, I have with the symptom, I have flu. The doctor will also takes blood and examines the patient. He remembers that exactly such a patient come to him with the same symptom and values and prescribes him to the medicament problems.The, which help him.
Okay, which is the German version, but you can imagine, you know, it's the same thing with the doctor. They're going to figure out what it is and then recommend you the right thing to do, which is the same as the next best action. And that's exactly what you're doing.
Also,
yes?
The main part of our developing is that we are search the right data and right parameter, and then we are mapping with the right repair. We are provided most of the more repairs as router reset. And we are in the first time we have concentration as for the problem area internet. We have also problem area telephony and all services. Oh, I forget to put this.
Click.
Okay,
it's fine.
Where can you find us? Although you can find us.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are the customer when you have the problem. He can call the hotline or can use the self-service. We have 3 touch points in our systems. Firstly is Frag Magenta. It was a chatbot.
Okay, and remember, everybody knows if you're with Telecom, the word magenta is really important. So this is the Frag Magenta chatbot. Ask Magenta, the chatbot.
We love Magenta. We are Magenta.
Had to be Magenta.
Genau. In the chatbot, you can reach this in the app, in the web portal, also in WhatsApp. The customer said, my internet is slow, and then the chatbot was connection with our MBA service. Also, we are in the distribution portal in the web. You can go in the web portal and you can click troubleshooting. The customer selects the symptom and with his phone number, and we connected with our service. And our biggest customer or touch point is the My Magenta app. In Germany, you have 2,048 million mobile phone customer, and from the fixed net line was 26 million, and also a customer have installed My Magenta app. He can see the contracts, he can change the contracts, and he also have a point to troubleshooting to our service. The initial position where we are start was that we have the first customer was the chatbot. We provided our service Micha on the KNIME server. On the KNIME server, the data science college worked in parallel and trained the AI and analyzed the data. And in addition, reports were created. Although it was the machine was in a small in a server farm, was not in the cloud, and was not large in size. Also, what not the dimension was small, but it was no. And sometimes it's when the reports for the management also have used in the same machine was in the night deploying. We get that the KNIME server has crashed. This was no problem for Frag Magenta. He has own fallback workflows when our service is not available.
But the interesting thing is, once again, started off small. They were doing development, and so really the developers, the data scientists would really pull on the machine, but it was on the same small machine as the service was trying to provide, and at some point, memory, machine size loses.
We are firstly, we are KNIME installed firstly only for reports for management.
Yes.
And then after with my friend Michael, we have start to training and AI training, and it's a small project firstly. Yes. But after then we have found the right data and have the logic to match this the data, okay. And we have provided our service. Mm-hmm. The challenge then, after then, we have in this year, also in last year in October, our service became popular in our company, and the new customer, My Magenta app, it was a project in Europe. He wants to use our service. The challenge was by My Magenta app that he have not fallback option when our service is not available. With the new customer, we will be even more requests for our MBA service. Also, in the first time, he said us that he will only provide this to Android handies, and we will start with pilot user. But after March this year, he said, okay, bis end of June, he will roll out this to all. Roll out this to all Androids and iPhones.
So all Androids and iPhones. In Germany that have this app, and it's a lot of them, all of a sudden could require this service. And so what it meant was it has to be 24/7. It has to be 24/7 response. I mean, it cannot go down. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. With the request from Magenta was no problem. The system was have sometime problem, and he have to fall back. But we have also have not to sleep. With the pilot user, we don't know how many pilot user will be activated from the app. Then we have contact KNIME. And we get the new version of KNIME server that was more stability. But the problem that's in the same machine, the data science colleague also training and analyze the data, and reports were generated, was persistent.
Right. And it's the classic problem of you've got a load, and then you've got all of these data science cowboys doing things, and you just never know. So keep going.
Now, then after then, we have get the information that My Magenta will end of June roll out completely. We are also contact KNIME again. The first idea was we will install a new instance of KNIME, that we have two instances that we can use on one instance only for prediction. And KNIME said to us, we have the new product KNIME Edge. With install KNIME Edge in our cloud, we are able to make our MBA available to 20/7 and handle large requests. Also KNIME Edge has more instances in the cloud. You can scale this. Our service after we installed into My Magenta app was connected to our service was stability. The AI runs independently on the KNIME Edge cluster, and the data science can run their reports and analyze of the data on KNIME server.
Okay, so 24/7, so you set it up so that all your edge instantiations were running 24/7, and they were separated from the rest of the server where the data scientists could do their thing, do their reports, and so the two were controlled but separated. So
exactly.
No problem. Okay.
Exactly. The power work has no influence anymore.
Okay.
How we did it, my colleague last showed you how is the architecture of KNIME Edge that the service is available 24/7.
Very good. 24/7.
Here, Lars.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, my name is Lars. I have the honor to make you a little bit acquainted to the KNIME Edge and how we use it. For this purpose, I will show you two slides. On the first one, I will show you a simplified architecture chart and explain it roughly. On the second slide, I will show you the first result we achieved with KNIME Edge with regard to the response time. Let's just start at the bottom of the left-hand side with the KNIME server. I hope it's functionality.
that works.
And perfect. What are the tasks of the KNIME server in the KNIME Edge construct? On the one hand, it controls and manages the deployments on the Edge cluster. Here's also the place where we execute the conditions, deployments of the workflows on the server and later deploy them to KNIME Edge.
So I'm going to just repeat that. That's where they're doing the continuous deployment. So they execute everything on KNIME Edge, and that's the continuous deployment that gets being pushed out.
Perfect. In addition, the KNIME server ensures that the deployment states are backed up to the Postgres SQL. This one. Let's move on the KNIME Edge and simply put that the main task is to execute the workflows. The service adapter, is this one?
There, right over there. Yes, excellent.
Perfect. The adapter of the KNIME Edge synchronizes the deployment state with the KNIME server. Then the KNIME Edge operator, this is this one. The operator implements the defined deployments. We can scale horizontally very easily. Currently, the operator generates 3 workflow pods with 7 GB each that are currently available for the consumers.
Okay, so you've got 3 pods, each of 7G, and they're permanently set up, and they're constantly running. Okay.
Yes, this one.
Yep.
And there is also a 4th pod available as a reserve that is only booted when we need it. In addition to the proposal of the actual repair, this workflow pods also generate analyze data that is saved in the min.io storage of the KNIME server. This is this way.
Okay, so that's another KNIME workflow that's then capturing lots of information and pumping it back out.
Correct.
Good.
In addition, provided the workflow on the KNIME Edge cluster is reading this data out of the min.io storage, and it's saving in internal database.
Exactly.
You can see here, this is.
Now, for those of you that are interested in the technical slide, I think people get the slides. They can have the slides afterwards. So you can sit and study this. And what you'll see is when you look at the KNIME Edge documentation and the diagrams, and then you take a look at this, you can match them up really easily to see how they chose to implement it in their organization. So for the techies among you, you can get the slides later.
And now we had already reached the end of the first slide. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, I will show you the first results we achieved in the KNIME Edge with regards to the response time. At the beginning, we only one KNIME server. This one achieved a response time of about 2.6 seconds. We also demonstrated that the KNIME server could handle up to about 5,000 requests per day. The KNIME Edge improved the time to an average of 1.84 seconds. As an average, we had about 2,500 requests per day, but during a major disruption, the number of requests almost triplicated.
So it tripled.
Yeah. On the 5th of August, another consumer was added, and the requests now range between 11,000, 12,000 requests per day. A lot more, a little bit more. The response time remained constantly below 1.9 seconds.
Now, what's interesting about this is if you think of it, so they've got it down to 1.9 seconds, and they had a certain volume. You were happy with the response time. The most important, the customers are happy with the response time, so they're happy. And it didn't matter how wide they went, because as more and more requests came in, the different edge were just handling them, no problem, and the response time stayed the exact same thing.
Correct.
Fantastic.
And now a fresh update. Since October, we are using a Python-based workflow. The advantage of the new workflow is that it's much more maintainable because it has a simple structure. Unfortunately, it came at the cost of the response time, and currently we are arriving to 0.05 seconds. But we use an old KNIME Edge version.
Yeah, and all the things we talked about this morning that have been out since June. Telecom is like many of you in many large organizations. It takes a while before IT allows you to go to the new versions, and they're just a little behind on that. But I think we're going to be able to help you with that one.
I hope so.
Yes.
And that brings us to the end of my part, and I hand the scepter back to Ali.
Before Ali talks, just take a look at some of the numbers. The uptime, the response time, the availability time. I'm just going to make a statement here. I've talked to a lot of analysts that say, oh, this stuff that KNIME does it scale? We have the answer. Yes, it does, and does it very well. Over to you.
Very important information. We are the first company in Germany and in Europe that's used KNIME Edge in productive.
Yeah.
Also, we have the only first version. At December, we have communicated with KNIME. We will testing the new version. We are a test user for KNIME. In this chart, you can see that we have connected a new customer, the distribution portal in the web, to our service on 15 August. Amount of requests for our service has increased. But we have also monitoring this in KNIME. In ELK, you can see well that's due to the additional large amount of requests to our service continues to run stable, and the response time is still at 1.9 seconds. The charts are from August. The number of requests has increased. Also, we have also activate a new problem area telephony. The numbers is higher, and the response time is still at 1.9 seconds.
Now, I'm going to tell you one thing here. People will say, is 1.9 seconds good, is it bad, or is it whatever? We are not talking about a workflow here that takes 5 numbers and spits out a new number. These are complex, sophisticated workflows, pulling all of this different information from and going through all the process to make the next best activity. So it's a very robust, very sophisticated workflow that you're constantly automating. So 1.9 seconds is pretty good.
Also, when you have seen our workflow in KNIME, some people from KNIME have seen it, and he not believe it that we'll get requests the response time in this time. You must in our business is you must fast. In the first year before we are provided our service, the process for the self-service was you get the question, for example, is your router online, is the LED online, then we make a measurement. After the measurements, we have also a question for the customer, and then at the end of the process, you get the repair. Yeah. But we have automating this all, the part, although our part is that we make the customer that have the problem with this network happy and can not call our hotline and can use our self-service touch points.
So if the customers are happy, management is happy. If management happy, you'll call it AI.
Yeah, genau. I would like to thank KNIME support and Simon. That have helped us we are installed KNIME Edge and recommending and KNIME for recommending the KNIME Edge product to us. Our goal is to provide our service to more customers and continue to optimize our workflow. We have not yet exhausted all the possibilities for optimization. There's already a new version KNIME that we want to install, which we want if we want to deal with large volume and requests and still have stability, I can only recommend KNIME Edge. That was our presentation, and thank you for listening and speaking for questions.
It's time for questions.
It's time for
But you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Content.
Yeah.
First, thank you from my side for taking this in English. We really appreciate it. I know it's not, you can tell they're enthusiastic, so it's really good. Do we have any questions from the audience? Any questions about Edge? How it's working? Anyone? Yeah, is there somebody over here? Let's see if there's a question. Ah, there's a question. Great.
Thank you very much for this presentation. I am so impressed. I have many questions. I'll talk to you afterwards, but for now, just one. I want to know a bit more about the experience, because you folks were already used to KNIME Server when you started using Edge. Was it smooth, optimizing these workflows to get this incredible performance? Did it take a long time? Was it complicated? Was it intuitive? Just curious to know this.
I think the big change was from KNIME Server to KNIME Edge. That we have only for the data science and for the analytic teams, you have their own machine we can run. But KNIME Edge was you can scale it this. Yeah. And when you use, I think when you only use 10,000 requests per day, it's you can use KNIME Server. But when you have more than 10,000, also we have tested in our test, we go up with 15,000 requests and 15,000 requests, and we see that the response time was stability, and we have and it's easier. For example, when you have new workflow in KNIME for our Misha AI. You must stop the service, and the customer, you must say to the customer, we have downtime. But with KNIME Edge, we can run one instance and update the 30 and second and the 30 instance, and after then we can the service is always available for the customers, and then we can update the first instance. Also, we have with KNIME Edge we can handle with more requests from the customer, and in Germany is so when, for example, football playing and the TV was not function, all the people will use the app, and then in a short time you see this, the requests going up, and with KNIME Server the first time we see that the response time go from 2 seconds to 4 seconds, then 10 seconds, then 30 seconds, and after then he's crashed. With KNIME Edge, we have seen the response time go up, but not so more than a KNIME Server.
Okay, it's good.
Good.
I think we're going to run out of time. So you are here now the next, tonight and tomorrow, yes? So you can take questions. Please do me a favor. Their English one-on-one is fine. And that's much more fun. It's so hard to stand on stage in a foreign language.
You must speak slowly.
You must slowly. But if you have questions, these two guys really do know their stuff. So please talk to them over the coming evening and tomorrow. Ask them questions and get some of those questions you have about what is KNIME Edge, when do I use it, how should I use it, and things, because they know how it's done. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.